9/11 would become a date to remember. It's the job of a president is to protect the American people from harm. And some presidents don't need to worry about that, and some do. And it turns out I was one that did.
My assistant came in and said, a plane is at the World Trade Center. And I said, well, that's a strange accident. And I called the president. Initially, we thought maybe a small plane of some kind. And he said, well, keep me posted.
He'd been told that a small twin-engine prop plane crashed into one of the towers of the World Trade Center. Oh, that's a horrible accident. I was concerned, but I did not think of it as a national security threat.
I remember when he came in, even as a 7-year-old, you know who the president is, right? And I remember even feeling like that young, feeling kind of starstruck and giddy, like I'm going to Disney World or something. And I put my hand over my heart. When you think about patriotic things when you're that little, you do the Pledge of Allegiance every day. And I literally put my hand over my heart.
I asked my communicators if they could find a television. And at about 1 minute after 9, they came back in with a television set. So we brought CNN up. I was calling the White House Situation Room to talk to my senior duty officer. So I was chatting with him on the handset and watched the television as the rest of the country was watching the television at 9:03 when the second aircraft impacted into the second World Trade Center tower.
When the second plane hit, there was an audible gasp of air in the room. Some people put their hand on their chest. It was two realizations, right? One, the immediate death toll, and then the fact that this was an attack on America.
More. Yes, more. Get ready. Light. Yes, light. Get ready.
It hits me as I'm standing there next to the president to the left that the president's the only one that doesn't know the second plane has hit the building.
I had to deliver a message that the president didn't expect to hear and was almost unbelievable. But it also literally was the message he had to hear, whether he wanted to or not.
Andy Card comes up to behind me and says, second plane has hit the second tower, America's under attack. And I'm watching the child read. And then I see the press in the back of the room beginning to get the same message I just got. And I could see the horror etched on the face of the news people who had just gotten the same news. During a crisis, it's really important to set a tone and not to panic. And so I waited for the appropriate moment to leave the classroom. I didn't want to do anything dramatic. I didn't want to, lurch out of the chair and scare the classroom full of children. And so I waited.
Try it again. Get ready for the beginning of that sentence. Get ready.
I was studying him intently, and his mouth was kind of drawn and tight, and there was for just a brief moment, sort of a startled look in his eyes, and also a weightiness to him, if you will. I could tell he was really focused on trying to get through that event.
You're literally seeing the mindset of the President of the United States play out on TV. Everything about what he thought he was about as a president is changing right in front of you. We hear about the great wartime leaders, Churchill, Roosevelt, others, days, if not weeks, to process and gird themselves for what was ahead. This is all happening in real time.